Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bonfire Race League and welcome to the Race for Prevention 195 here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. But this is not any normal race. This is our championship race. Today we are crowning this year's Bonfire Premier Cup World Champion, and we're coming at you live for the first time this season. I am super excited to be here, and the stakes could not be higher, guys. So I brought myself a special booth today since this isn't just any broadcast. I have got my tag team partners Dalton Geyer and Buddy Solly here with me today. How you doing today, Dalton?
Happy to be here. Up early with the birds. I know we both are. We're over on the West Coast, but yeah, we're ready to put on a show. These drivers are ready to put on a show, and I'm excited.
I am super excited too, Dalton, and yeah, these people are to get to experience the listening to our brains slowly turn on over the next hour and a half. But Buddy Solly, he's over in the East Coast, so he doesn't have the same excuse that you and I do. I think it's like 10 o'clock over there. How you doing today, buddy? Oh, Buddy has his mic off right now. We'll introduce Buddy in a little bit later today. Once again, him started up. Oh, it looks like you're on now, aren't you, Buddy? But super excited to have Buddy Sol. He'll also be running the producers booth today. Since we are coming at you guys live, we're gonna be hitting you up with some new camera angles, some new replays, some new graphics, all types of exciting stuff that is worthy of a championship race like this one. But speaking of, let's talk about our four championship contenders. Competing for the Bonfire Premier Cup Championship today is going to be David Medina, David Brenner, Kyle Lynott, and Joe Volpes. Four very worthy drivers who have put together a very consistent and exceptional season. I mean, we saw last week a win was not enough to get you into this championship race. David Owens taking home the win over at Martinsville, but not making the championship race here at Homestead-Miami. So, who do you have your eye on today, Dalton, as we get ready for this championship race?
Yeah, you know what? You said it. A win was not enough to get you in there. There was I think a lot of what ifs going in, or I mean, coming into this race. With we had a lot of contenders missing the first playoff race. Uh, but yeah, I think you said it too. A very deserving championship for. We've raced with most of those guys, and on pace alone, I think any one of them has a shot. Um, but I mean, obviously, the odds-on favorite's going to be David Medina because he's got. Let's see, what's he got? 3 wins this year.
Yep. And he also was the last person to take home a victory at this specific racetrack in this league. Last time we were at Homestead-Miami, surprise, surprise, it was Dave Medina taking home the victory. Yeah, he is the easy choice. So I was going to tell you and Buddy Dalton that if you were to choose your final four, and it couldn't be Dave Medina, because I think it's too easy to choose Dave Medina to win this thing. I mean, we've seen all season, while he does have 3 wins, it feels like it could be far more than that, but it's just so difficult to win a iRacing race, a sim racing race this long, this competitive. So you can see we've seen how much can happen. But if it wasn't for David Medina, it's just in a hypothetical world where he doesn't exist, who would you have your eye on in this race?
Well, look, we talked about David Medina's wins, but I don't think he's actually won a race since. Let's go back here. You have to go back to February 8th at Kansas to find his last win in this Premier Cup. Actually, obviously he's been in the top 10 he's been on the podium every race of this playoffs, but hasn't found victory lane since February. Uh, Two guys who have found victory lane more recently are Kyle Lynott and Joe Volpes. Joe Volpes, obviously, he's the only one in this championship four with a win in these playoffs.
So
So I'm,
crazy.
I'm looking at Joe Volpes.
That is so crazy to think about, Dalton. The fact that Joe Volpes is the only one here with the win. It really just does go to show how important consistency was in those playoffs, how important it was to piece together a full season. But yeah, you're right. I do have my eye on Volpes as well. I know Volpes as well likes this track. We're seeing that right now as qualifying is underway, and so far so good for the championship contender Joe Volpes, zero point zero 0.04 seconds faster than David Brenner, currently sitting on the provisionary pole, but we'll see if he's able to hold on to that. Looks like Medina has yet to put in his lap, and you know how scary that's going to be. Jared Kelly as well. Um, But I do have my eyes on Vulpes. I do think he can definitely put together a great race today. I know he likes this racetrack. This is a championship that I think he feels like has eluded him for years now. Would really, really like the opportunity to take it home. And I think he's just excited to be here and have that chance because, man, it was not easy to have a chance at this championship. We already touched on David Owens winning a race last week, but and that not being enough to carry him into this round. But there's also other drivers. You think about Jared Kelly, who wasn't able to get into the championship four. I'm also thinking about Jason Landry, someone who was so dominant all season, not able to make it into the championship four. So nothing. The guy on screen right now, Joey Styres, another really, really fast driver. He'll be driving for our Best of the Rest championship today. I believe he'll be coming in third place with that. So he definitely will have a shot at that race against Mandela and I believe Stephen Neal for that. But it will be a really intense race to
No,
see that. And
Steven Neal's in the playoffs. Sorry.
oh, Stephen Neal was in the playoffs. I'm sorry. Um, and there on screen there is Kyle Lynott, and Kyle Lynott is our sponsor car today. This is the Drive to Survive 195. That even rhymes, Dalton. I didn't even realize that. But very, very cool. And thank you to Kyle Anat. And there's his banner right there. One of our championship contenders, but also the sponsor of this race. So shout out to him and thank you for him. I'm excited to bring him in the booth after he brings down or puts down this heater of a lap right now. Kyle Anat didn't have a lot of confidence going to this one, guys. I've raced against him at this racetrack a handful of times, and I can tell you he knows his way around here. I think it's more of the guys that he has to race against to win this championship that are kind of hurting his confidence. But how do you feel about Kyle Nott's chances today?
Yeah, and I think we saw them race here on Monday too, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Both Joe Volpus and Kyle Anat. And it looks like as we look at the qualifying leaderboard, that's well, actually, that's paid off for for both of them here,
Yes. Oh my
as
gosh.
she will not shoot up to the top to the front row as well.
With identical
Um,
lap times.
yeah, but Lanat ran into some issues on Monday. Probably hoping to avoid that today. Uh, and yeah, Volpus got to run the full race there. So you got to wonder if that recent experience around here is going to play a factor.
I agree. I think that definitely can't hurt, right? I was covering that race, and oh, look who just put it on the pole, Dalton. Should we even act surprised?
I don't think we should. Yeah.
It was only a matter of time. I hear our producer right now, but a little bit less practice than some of these other guys. So we'll see how that works out for him. And I believe that may be it for qualifying. Yes, just looks like about 1 minute left. So our qualifying order will be up in just a minute. But while we wait, I am going to try to bring in Kyle Lynott right now and learn a little bit more about our sponsor today and about how he's feeling about the race today. Kyle Lynott, one of our championship contenders. Hey, Kyle, we got you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you so much for being our title sponsor today for the Drive to Survive 195, which is a very catchy sounding name. I'm not going to lie. But we are super excited to have you. So, first, tell us a little bit about how you're feeling about the race and that qualifying effort. Congratulations on it, by the way. And tell us about the sponsor of today's race.
Yeah. So thank you first off for letting me join you guys. And yeah, just the race to prevent suicide prevention is huge for me just because, it hits close to home with my dad, committing suicide a few years ago. And just something that I think isn't talked enough about with especially the male population. And so I I just thought it would be a cool idea to have that as the sponsor and the title race for all championships throughout all leagues. But as far as the race goes, good first qualifying lap for myself. I got in a little too hot on the second one, so it was a one and done for me. But I'm looking forward to the race. It's definitely not my favorite track by any means. I'm not great at it. I definitely struggle with it, but been doing a lot of watching other people throughout the week just to see how they run the track and see how they kind of fare with it and their tire saving. So I'm hoping that that might help me out a little bit with today's race.
Yeah, I mean, you guys rounding out the top five and qualifying looks like you're gonna be starting fourth, so great job there. But really, really cool about the sponsor, and generally from a personal standpoint, I could not agree more with everything you said, especially with the male population. It definitely isn't taken seriously enough. So I think that's very, very cool to have a cause like that on your car, and I'm really, really proud to be in a league that is using that as one of our title sponsors, especially for our championship race. So thank you for bringing that to us, Kyle. It's extremely cool. And best of luck to you today, man. We'll be rooting for you up here. And I'll move you back to your channel. Were you at the Gulf Coast Racing today?
I was, and I appreciate you guys, and hopefully we can put on a good show for you.
Yes, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again at the end of this thing, man. Good luck out
Yes,
there.
sir. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Kyle Lanat, and once again, a very, very cool sponsor. And I personally didn't know that about him, so shout out to him and his family, and I could not agree more with how important that is. And there are some important phone numbers to save away if you're dealing with anything like that, or if you know anyone, a loved one who is dealing with anything like that. Check out Kyle Lanat's car today because he has some, I know the suicide prevention phone numbers on there as well as some other great resources. But let's get started on some race in Dalton. And I think that probably the same thing stuck out to me that stuck out to you. And that is that there was one guy who was breaking up our championship four. And no surprise, it's David Owens. So let's go down this running order real quick. In first place on pole, another no surprise, David Medina. In second place alongside him will be David Owens. Third place belonging to Joseph Volpis. Fourth place, Kyle Anott. And fifth place, believe it or not, another championship driver. And that's going to do it for all our championship drivers. David Brenner going to be in fifth place. Sixth place belonging to Michael Serra. Seventh, Dennis Puckett. Eighth, Joey Stires. Ninth, Ricky Mandela Sr. 10th, Jared Kelly. 11th, Mark Dumont. And ranking on top 12 is Chris Morrill. And how big of a field do we have today, Dalton? It looks like we're going to have a 22-car field for today's race. Here's the rest of our field here. Steve Neal, 13th. 14th, Richard Leclerc. 15th, Jake Shea. Only took me all season to get that name right. 16th, Jose Medina. 17th, Jerry Rose. 18th, Michael Benton. 19th, Matt Schofield. 20th, Kevin Kyle. 21st, Justin Malarkey. 22nd, Edward Peltz. And rounding out a 23-car field for the last time this season, Tommy Fox. 23 cars under the Miami sun. How you feeling, Dalton? How you feeling about this one?
I'm feeling like this could go either way. We could see this go green till the end. We could see chaos. It really just depends how these boys want to do it. We're about to go green here already.
I completely agree. I was thinking
Never
that this
mind.
would be a long
Never
green
mind.
race.
Actually,
Is it
I
one
think we're
more?
getting a
We
parade
added
lap.
one. Yep, I think we're adding one more. I think they expected us to take a little bit longer. Not interview. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
But Kyle and I are
I
very
think.
efficient.
Well, you know, I didn't expect to have a minute after qualifying like that. So that
Me either.
Uh, but still, you know what? Nice to it gives us an extra opportunity to talk. Um,
It does.
I think you brought up David Owens. We were about to talk about David Owens. I think being up there, kind of splitting up this championship four, and I'm sure he's going to be looking to help his teammates any way he can, uh, by putting pressure on David Medina here, but at the same time, I think at the end of the day, his main goal is to make sure there's two sets of burnouts at the end of this thing. He's going to want to end this with a win. He won 3 of the playoff races. He's going to be looking to take home one more just as a statement. So we'll see if he can get that done today.
I agree. I think it's going to take a win, Dalton. And what I'm expecting is a long green flag race. That's really what I think we're going to get here. I think it's going to be a matter of executing on your green flag pit stops, not making those little mistakes, and giving yourself a chance to do that extra set of burnouts. We've seen all too many times this race stay green, but here we go. We are about to crown a champion here in the Bonfire Race League. The lights are out the pace car, and we are green as David Medina is going to lead them to green, but a great jump by David Owens there. Remember, we're going off the flag, man. They're not the leader, and that might be the only time we go green today, so it was so important to start the race well. And a good job by David Owens, really using that top. He's going to try to clear David Medina here and be the spoiler of this championship race right away. As behind them, you see Lanat and Volpis side by side trying to negotiate third place.
And you see a lot of guys using that top line. That's going to come in pretty immediately. You're going to see these guys get this run off this corner. It's going to be really kind of hard to make these passes on the bottom to start this thing. throughout the field. As I think we're going to see a pretty even split with that top line and guys ripping the bottom.
Look at that view right there as you see all the cars and so many different lanes available to these guys. And I totally agree with you, Dalton. I do think we're going to see a big or a pretty even split of guys using the top and bottom at this racetrack. But what you did see there on the on the green flag lap was Dave Medina doing a great job on the bottom to clear David Owens and already giving himself almost a half-second lead as not trying not to waste any time here, wanting to get past the 11 car of Owens and set his sails on the lead and looking at Medina and seeing what that's all about. I really think in the early stages of this race, Dalton, if you're Kyle Anott, Joe Volpis, or David Brenner, what I'd be focusing on is how am I going to win this race later. I'd be trying to learn as much as I possibly can against that Nana Medina right now and making sure that I have something for him around lap 30, right?
Yeah, you're going to want to save those tires as much as you can. Make sure you have something to push on. Nothing worse than going backwards and you're only halfway through a fuel run. You're gonna want to make sure you're saving those tires. That's kind of the goal with using that bottom line there, just to save those tires. You don't you can run the top and be fast, but that's gonna kill your tires eventually.
Yeah, you definitely pay for it later when you try to run the top here. It's fun at first, but oh my gosh, it catches up to you quick and it burns those tires off. And before you know it, you're having a hard time not slapping that wall every other corner. So I agree with you. At the bottom is really the way you want to try to save here, and you want to just minimize that steering wheel input. But it could be easier said than done in a track like this. As you see Joey Styres there taking 5th place away from David Brenner. That's a big move for Styres. He's looking again for that win. For that best of the rest championship. We see a car loose in the back there, Dalton. Not sure if you saw that. I think that may have been Ferdinandi. I'm not sure, but a car very, very loose all the way down the backstretch there. We're gonna stay green. I don't believe that it resulted in any contact, but it's lap 6. We're already seeing a little bit of spiciness out here. Oh no. I'll check. Looks like we're good. Yeah, looks like we're good. I'll just go. We'll just keep going as normal, Dalton. And I'll keep it open on my phone. But we are currently watching on screen here. We got Owens and Volpis and Styres, and we are already starting to see here, Dalton, top two or every lane being used here. That's definitely one of my favorite things about Homestead-Miami Speedway is how many lines are available to you here.
Yeah, absolutely. To look at, you see Joey Styres down there using that, pretty much just being on that white line. And then, you have the contrast of Joe Volpis all the way up the wall. And you see the run that Volpis gets out of the corner. But at the same time, you got to get alongside somebody to really do anything. And I don't know if, it really results in kind of a lot of, honestly, a lot of nothing happening at a certain point where you see, it's like, oh, everybody's, in every line of the racing surface, but then they come out onto the straightaway and everybody's kind of exactly where they were. Right?
No, it's kind of funny in that way. Where like, yeah, you don't really see the giant runs always form. It kind of just seems like it's a lot of different preferences and the same result at the end. But oh god, as you're seeing cars start to hit the wall, I think that was Jared Kelly who just slapped the wall on exit. This is happening earlier than I expected it to. I thought you always know we're at Homestead. You know you're going to see cars get tight and start to hit that outside wall. But this is happening a little bit earlier than I thought it would. I'd be a little bit concerned if I was one of those top 10 cars right there about really saving my stuff. But again, this is when you learn, right? This is when you make those mistakes because you better now than later in this race. It's 130 lap race today. You got plenty of time to learn those lessons.
Yeah, you know what? It's that cup car too. Different than really any of the other oval cars in the way that it's kind of hard to get it loose, but boy, if you get in the gas too quick, it just plows on exit, and just you really got to make sure that that you're not getting on that too early, so you don't slap the wall.
Yeah, it really does. That exit can be really really brutal for this race car, especially and really is just all your throttle input. Being patient about that, and trying to just approach this track one corner at a time because it can certainly change throughout the race as well. Looks like a hot day out there right now, so with Miami and hotness, it can be a handful. And you're seeing
Oh,
Lanot
there's
already
got
start to do a
loose.
good job. Yeah, Stars got all kinds of loose on exit there. Did a good job gathering him back up, but that's all Lanot needed to take third place away. So Kyle Lanot making his way through this field. He says he doesn't like this racetrack, but sometimes that could be a dangerous thing, Dalton. Sometimes I feel like drivers are just bluffing a little bit when they say that because I've been in this track with Kyle Lanot, and he knows his way around this place. Not driving away from the field by any means. I honestly kind of expected him to, Dalton, but he doing a great job of holding him with them and keeping him honest right now is David Owens.
Yeah, and that could be just him not trying to push too hard and burn these tires early, because that's another thing we see with this next gen is you can push this thing for like 5 or 10 laps and create a good gap, but then at that point the field just comes back to you so quick over the rest of the run, and it's a long run with the fuel tank on these cars, so you
Yeah.
really you want to do just good enough to stay out front, but otherwise, yeah, you want to take care of the tires.
I agree, Dalton. I entirely agree. It looks like we're off the air, buddy. Crap. Do you want to you can kill the live tuning timing one then, if that makes it easier. Looks like it. Gotcha. Yeah, do what you gotta. If you need to turn off the live timing, feel free to. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, buddy, slowly click the magic button, and for now at least, we are good. Sorry about that. Lap 18 here, though. Still got with the lead here is David Medina behind him, the other David Owens. Third place, Volpis, and all the way back to seventh now, Kyle Lanot. I believe Kyle Lanot had a moment there. I'm not sure what I missed there, Dalton. Did you catch what happened to Lanot?
Seemed like he might have just gotten loose. I was kind of watching that whole thing, but yeah, Jared Kelly and David Brenner both got by him in one kind of swoop there. As he continues to kind of fall back here.
Yeah, that is not good early on for Kyle Lanot. But again, been saying this over and over. If you're going to make mistakes, make them now. Now is the time to make them. Lanot already trying to get that 998 back below him and make some passes. That is Mark Dumont there below him. Lanot, one of the first cars you're seeing committed to the top of this racetrack. No surprise there if you've ever shared the track with the 988 of Kyle Lanot. He is very good in the top of the racetrack and knows his way around there. Trying to hold that momentum there, but right now Dumont doing a good job. You still also have Owens playing spoiler right now in second place in the middle of two playoff cars. David Owens, someone I've also obviously shared the track with several times here at Miami. You as well, Dalton. Owens, from what I remember, likes this track, doesn't love it. How do you think, or what are you expecting out of that 11 car today? And how would you feel if you were him today? Our defending winner in this league, but not racing for a championship.
Yeah, I think it's like I said, I think he's trophy hunting at this point. He's going to be looking to put pressure on Medina. Going to be looking to pick up a statement win to finish this season. It's probably going to sting that it's not going to come with the championship, but uh, yeah, helping his teammates by kind of putting some pressure on Medina will just be kind of a bonus for him, I think.
Yeah, I think as well. Like sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's brutal. I mean, I think the roughest thing, Dalton, we've both been there where we've been very, very close to racing for a championship in other leagues and not quite made that final four. And then you show up to the championship race and you have tons of speed and you're like, oh God, why couldn't I have just been racing for that championship? But hey, you can never really complain when you do have that type of speed. But speaking of that, very word, Dalton, those deltas are starting to get meaningful. Almost 1 second now that David Medina has over the rest of this field, and that's only to David Owens because from there it opens up even more. A second and a half about to Volpis, almost two to Styres, over two back to Kelly, and then when we get to the rest of our championship four, which is Brenner and Lanat, we're talking over 2 seconds and 4 seconds for Kyle Lanat. I think we're gonna stay green for a while, if not this whole thing, Dalton. And I think those deltas are gonna be so important to keep as low as you can.
Yeah, I think at the very least we're going to make it to the pit cycle. This is a weirdly tricky pit road. You as a Kyle Larson fan know this.
Shut up.
I'm sorry, but yeah, unironically, a very tricky pit road. If you're not ready for it,
Hmm.
it kind of sneaks up on you. It seems like it'll be easy because it's just kind of a straight shot, but you really, God, those barrels they jump
The
out at you.
barrels. It's the barrels,
Yeah,
Dalton.
it is the barrels. I think. Um, we see. Oh, Owen's got loose there, and here comes
Ooh, yeah.
Volpus and
It's gonna
Styres looking to jump.
Yeah, that's going to cost Owens third place and maybe fourth as well. As yeah, Volpus quickly made work of that out of turn four. Did a great job getting that second place available to him. And man, those loose moments. I mean, I think I'm gonna go ahead and venture a guess, Dalton. That's what happened to Kyle and not right, because when you seem to get loose on the bottom of these of this racetrack and go down a couple lanes, it's costing you 2, 3 positions, if not more. That was a big mistake for David Owens, all the way back to fourth place, over 2.5 seconds to David Medina now. But speaking of mistakes coming from drivers who can't afford them right now, Kyle Lynott again, Dalton, ninth place now, 5.5 seconds back for the race for prevention, 988 race car. We'll be rooting for Kyle Lynott, our title sponsor today, but really trying to figure out those hardships. And one thing that concerns me a little bit about Lynott specifically today is his lack of confidence in himself. I wish there was a way for me to tell Kyle how good he actually is at this track, but he doesn't seem to have himself convinced that this is a good track for him. Where I personally think he's fantastic here, Dalton.
Yeah, I think he's going to be ready for this pit cycle, ready to get some fresh rubber on it. But yeah, really kind of trying to stop the bleeding at this point to get back into this championship fight here.
Yeah, you really just don't want to let this thing spiral out of control. Don't let the bleed or stop the bleeding before it gets too bad. As you see, Dave Medina is linked up. He's driving away. He has over 2 seconds to the second place, other championship contender of Joe Volpis. Volpis right now going to try to make that gap as small as he can and not let that 9 become a distant memory in his mirror. And you were right about that pit road, Dalton. Kyle Larson aside, it is a tough pit road to get on. And I think what the problems about it is it looks so straightforward, right? You come out of four, it's a straight line. It's not like other tracks that we go to where you need to be very prepared for that pit road. Through 3 and 4, you're already trying to get to the bottom of the racetrack. Here at Homestead, you're kind of, I think it kind of tricks you, right? It seems like it's going to be an easy pit stall to get into, or a pit road to get into, because it's all relatively straightforward. But it doesn't take long for that thing to sneak up on you, and for you to either speed or hit the barrels, I guess.
Yeah, I think the reason people kind of misjudge it is the speed difference that you have to kind of take into account. Because I think pit road speed is it's either 45 or 50,
Hmm.
and you're coming out of that corner at like 150. You got to cut 100 miles per hour as quick as possible. And if you're on old tires, you got a loose or tight race car. It's hard to do that so quickly.
Yep, I completely agree with you. I'm not sure if you have the race that or the lap data available to you right now, Dalton, but oh my gosh, there is something on there that is depressing as hell. There is only one race car on the track right now that's putting down 33 second laps. And I'm sure you know who that is.
Oh, Owen's just got loose
Oh.
and then yeah, you don't smack the wall there out of the corner.
Uh-oh. Can't blame equipment for that one, it looks like. David Owens with a little bit of an issue. And it looks like he's still coming up the track, Dalton. I think he's going to bring it down pit road here, isn't he?
Road, yeah.
Yes, he is. I wonder how much damage that 11 car has as Owens gets it in clean. I'm thinking lap 31 would likely be when you were planning on this anyway. Maybe this was a little bit on the earlier side for the 11 car, but not too bad, I don't think. How about you?
Yeah, I guess if there was any time for it to happen, if that's when that pit window opens, yeah, this isn't a terrible time for that to happen, but see how much damage that gave him. As that might put an end to any hopes that of a win here today for him.
Yeah, it looks like Owens and Benton are first two cars to bring it down pit lane. That looks extended, Dalton.
Yeah, I say
we're at 22 seconds right now.
I say that, but we've definitely seen David Owens come back from worse.
Yeah, never
races. So, like,
never say the win's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna 100% count out David Owens in this one for sure.
It's foolish too. So Buddy Solly with a great shout. Dave Medina is committed to the bottom. We have our camera on the 9 car right now. He is, and I've noticed that as well. He is committed to the bottom of this racetrack. He has zero interest in the top, and I think that's probably a little bit easier due to not having any dirty air in front of him, right? He only has to worry about clean air right now and keeping that nose clean, excuse me. But that really is the best way to save tires here, especially for the long run, is to use that bottom, stay committed to it, and not really venture away from it. As here is Kyle and not bring it down the pits as well, and you see in front of him still David Owens in the pits getting that 11 car fix. So, I mean, now I'm going to venture to say it, Dalton. You know, we're at Miami. It's been a few laps. I don't think David Owens is going to win this race.
Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. But once again, can't count him out.
You really can't.
Wait, let's see. How many laps down is that?
I think it's 3, which is almost enough. Yeah, I believe it's 3 down.
Looks like Lynott.
He could pull this off.
Lynott came down pit road as well.
Yep, Lynott did bring it down. That was 4 tires for Lynott. Relatively standard pit stop besides that. Sorry, my brain is just not turned on yet, boys. But Kyle Lynott doing a great job bringing it up and down the pit road there, and not surprising to see that 988 as one of the first cars eager to get those tires off of it. We speculated that Lynott would probably be on the earlier side of that pit stop, and I think Lynott wanted just another trade or another shot at that, right? I don't think that first run went the way he wanted it to. I think he did probably learn quite a bit, though, and wants to put 4 fresh ones on it, take another shot at it, and see if he can have a better run this time around. Especially, I don't mind at all for Lynott that he's how early in the side of this it looks like he's going to be, as his 3 championship contenders of Brenner, Volpus, and Medina have not brought down pit road yet, and it's been a couple laps. That will be meaningful time depending on how long they decide to leave it out there, and maybe Lynott can gain some spots that way, and we'll see how he can do on the other end of the run. Yeah, I saw that. There is only one guy putting down similar lap times to David Medina, and yeah, it looks like you need the same last name to be in the 33-second conversation right now, Dalton, because Jose Medina is putting down some heaters right now.
Yeah, that's awesome to see from him. It looks like he's up 9 positions from the start of this thing, up to 7th from where he started in 16th. Yeah, one of the biggest movers today. So you can look back a few seconds to Justin Malarkey, who's up to 10th or I should say 9th from 21st.
Wow. Malarkey always one of those long run cars that shows up really about this point in the run, right? And it must be so frustrating as one of his competitors to probably not be thinking too much about that 73 race car, and then all of a sudden he shows up and he's not going anywhere for the rest of the race. That's one thing that's for sure. Once he's there, he's not going away. So Malarkey already up to 9th place there. You see him racing Lynott. I believe Lynott's going to have far newer tires. Lenot is a lap down right now, though, so that's not for position. Lenot needs to make it through this field as quick as he can, get that lap back the hard way, just in case that caution comes out. I think that would be a horrible way for Lenot to really be upside down in this race if there is a caution right now. But so far, so good here at Miami. We've stayed green through 40 laps here, Dalton, and I speculated this would happen. Not only a very respectful league, but a very important race, and I expected it to be the racing of the highest integrity here at Miami today.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to sorry to ping pong you around here. Back to Jose Medina as he made a pass. He made a pass on the championship four driver David Brenner.
Wow.
Get up to sixth. And actually, on that subject, I don't believe we talked about David Brenner in our pre-race. Really. So we
Not enough, at least.
I can kind of clue you in statistically on where he's at. He started this season with 4 consecutive top fives. Started the regular season on that, but kind of fell off the radar. Wasn't able to pick up a win. Obviously, he's looking for that. Could end up finding that Matt Crafton championship. But at the same time, he's been hanging around here, up in this around the top 5, in the top 10, and as we see Kyle Lenot now on those fresh tires.
Wow.
Coming around him.
Look at that.
Yeah, but I say Brenner kind of fell off the radar. Last week at Martinsville, I believe, was his only top 10 in this playoffs. But
Wow.
still, where there's a will, there's a way. I don't know what the percentages are, but I think they say like 90% of success is showing up, and he showed up every week, and that's he did as much as he needed to get to the championship four, and he's got just as good a chance as anyone now at this point.
Yeah, this right here that's certainly a gaggle's a word, buddy. I would call it a cluster, you know what? Because this is not only is it a lot of cars here together here, but a lot of different strategies as well, a lot of different tire situations here, and that's what creates these hectic situations. But I agree, that's a good little segment of Dalton's digits right there, and I think that Brenner has been definitely our quietest championship driver out of the group of 4 that we have here. But the consistency has been key for that 22 car. He had a great start to the season. I remember that he was always in the top 5. Definitely got quieter as the season went on, but then the playoffs just put together a set of 4 really solid races, and that was enough to get him here in this championship. And Brenner does like tracks like this. He is fast at places like this, as you see a handful of cars bring down the pits. You see Kelly, Medella, a couple others bringing down the pits. As there's David Owens back on track. He could win this race, Dalton. He is only 11 laps down. Genuinely, I think he could win the race. But I think Brenner is definitely
a couple of rounds,
Yeah, just a few. He's someone you can't count out today. You can't get too comfortable on that 22 and count him out, because he could definitely come here late in this race and take it away. But my goodness, first of all, it's Medina supremacy right now. Look at that in the top of our scoreboard. But secondly, 11 seconds, Dalton. Oh no, what's going on? Someone throw something on the racetrack. We need a caution.
Yeah, I kind of stopped looking at the delta for a second. That's what, I guess that's the power of that bottom line around here. I think Dave Medina really kind of simplified the strategy. He just said, I'm not leaving the bottom, and it's really paid off for him.
Yeah, I really do think as well, Dalton, and it really seemed to fall off a cliff for the rest of the field at a certain point in the run, right? Like, I think Medina was holding on by it looked like about a second, but then out of nowhere, it was up to 9 seconds, 10 seconds, 11 seconds. Medina just putting down such faster laps than the cars behind him towards the end of that run. So really, that is a good sign for that 9 car. If we get a long run to end this race, and again, no cautions yet in this race, we're already about to be 50 laps into it and still have stayed green. This is going super pretty. Look at this, 2 of our championship contenders side by side out of the pits. Brenner a little bit slower than full pits.
Kyle Lenot beat Medina out of the pits.
Kyle Lenot beats him. Wow.
The lead pretty much.
So we saw
for him.
And that was quite the undercut, wasn't it, Dalton? I think it ended up being about a 20 lap undercut, 17 lap undercut there. I'm seeing a lot of smoke as well, or unless if our league admin Kevin Cott decided fog would be a good idea again. Maybe that's what we're seeing. Generally, can't count that out. But yeah, that was a huge undercut by the 988 of Kyle Lynott. I think it ended up being about 17 laps on the earlier side there, Dalton. Yes, it was. But that was enough to give him the lead over Medina. Now we have to see how long that lasts. It's only a second he has over Medina right now. They are both 9 seconds back to Leclerc, who has yet to bring it down pit road, that 117. Sure will be pitting any minute now. There he is right there. So Lynott should lead a lap here. Not like that's going to matter because really to win this championship, there's no bonus points. There's nothing besides whoever finishes best will be our championship. So that's not super important right now. But what this does give Lynott, Dalton, is some clean air on that nose, a chance to lead this race and see how important that would be for him later in this race, because I think he will have another opportunity to run this undercut if he wants to, if it's beneficial enough for him right here.
Yeah, you know what? We'll see. And something I didn't think of. He may actually have to make one more pit stop than these guys with how early he came in. But we'll see how long he can run on that fuel tank, and we'll see if he has any fight for Medina here on those 15 lap older tires.
He's going to try here. He's
Probably
going to try to
not,
put the
though.
squeeze on Medina, but I don't think he's going to have much for Medina on such fresher tires, using that bottom line to his advantage. And what I also noticed about that there as well, Dalton, I mean, I know we're early in the run, so it's easier to do that right now than it will be, 20 laps from now. But man, David Medina never came up from the bottom. On corner exit, that car was still hugging the bottom of the racetrack, and he could probably do it again here. Look at that. He's still in the middle of the racetrack, voluntarily coming up now down the backstretch. That is so impressive. That says so much about how locked in, dialed in, like a slot car that 9 car is right now.
And you look, he still maintained an 8-second lead on the rest of those guys, and that's going to benefit Kyle not hugely. He's not going to see those guys for a while, at least until their tires wear in. So
Yeah,
yeah, this undercut really worked out for him.
yeah, I still see this being a net gain for Lennon. I completely agree. I think this is still a good move. Um, obviously it wasn't going to be a race leading move for too long with that, just more about the speed that 9 car has. But what it is definitely a net gain. The biggest issue now is, like you said, Dalton, I think it's more a matter of if he needs to pit one more time than everybody else, because if you do that, it doesn't matter how good you undercut, right? You're screwed. But I think, as we saw there, we had cars able to stretch it all the way to 46. So if Lenot wants to, I think he can fix that, right? I think he can kind of undo that undercut, or at least how dramatic it is, and cut off some of those laps so he can make it on fuel. It's just he's going to have to leave that 98 for longer than most of his competitors would, and figure out how to drive that thing on older tires a little bit better than he did early in this race. But I wouldn't say it's all doom and gloom, even if he does want to continue to do somewhat of an undercut throughout this race.
Yeah, if you run short like that to start, you're gonna have to run long somewhere if you want to make it to the end on the same amount of pit stops as everybody else. Yeah, we'll see. It looks like he's
Okay, so not 7/10 the lap right now. Looks like he's losing, which it's not terrible, Dalton. I mean, it's not great, obviously, but it's not terrible.
it's
Lenot,
still
I
gonna
think, not
yeah.
worried.
It's still
Uh,
gonna take him what, like 10 laps to get there at least.
right, right, quite a
So
bit of time.
yeah,
And by then he's at lap 60, and that's essentially double what the last run was, so he can just go deeper from there. So Lenot, I think so far so good here. I mean, keep in mind this dude was running in 9th place before this pit cycle started, so definitely a gain right now. But you're right, Dalton, and I so often forget about that. When you run these type of alternate strategies, you short pit early. It's pretty easy to forget that at some point you are going to have to make up for that gas. You can't just, it doesn't just reappear in your gas tank, unfortunately, as hard as I try.
and it looks like the lucky dog battle is going to be pressuring him on
Oh
fresher
no.
tires as well right now.
Oh no.
But we'll see
Yeah,
what he
you're
does
right.
about that.
It's Peltz and Puckett, the battle of the peas. And oh god, they're about to make him the meat in the sandwich. Oh, don't do this, boys. Say our that, and that's an important position though, Dalton. That is so important. As we've said, we haven't gotten that caution yet today, but if you do, you want to be the lucky dog. You get that caution, or you get that lap back. So a very important battle here between two of our very consistent and good drivers, in Dennis Puckett and Edward Peltz. Both done a great job this season.
It's about to be 3. Tommy Fox is about to join him too.
Why not? Why not? Let's just make it 4. Let's get Joel Rose in here too. Where is he? There he is. I was just nice call. Jerry Rose hanging out. Jerry Rose doing a great job this season.
Somehow.
Yeah, he did. I see that. Rose down 3 laps, Benton down 2, Leclerc down 1. I think Leclerc down 1 lap from. I think that's how bad it was for him having to stretch it out so long, Dalton. We saw Leclerc out in the pit, or on the track longer than anybody else. I think that's what that was right there. Just those slow lap times. And don't look now. David Owens is somehow 10 laps down, Dalton. He's not 11 anymore. What's going on? He's going to win this race.
Well, I guess he hasn't had to bring it back down pit road yet, so he got that lap back from the pit cycle at least.
I better not see 9 anytime soon.
Oh boy.
And then already a 4-second gap for Dave Medina over Lynott. But like you said, Dalton, that gap to the rest of the field behind Lynott not closing up particularly fast. It's down to 4 seconds now. This is really exactly on pace with about where we thought it would go over Lynott. Around lap 60 is where we expect to see the rest of the field catch him. And I think that's when Lynott will have to make that decision on whether or not he wants to bring it in then, keep it consistent with how he did the first one, or try to stretch it now. It's going to be a big decision for him, as you do see those 2-lap cars as well starting to drive away from the 988. But really what it is, man, these gaps for Dave Medina, he is praying that we never see the yellow flag during this race.
Absolutely. As you see Tommy Fox now coming up on him. I believe those guys are both in the Gulf Coast Racing chat, so they'll be able to coordinate anything if Tommy Fox wants by here.
That, at least there's that, right? Because things can get messy here, especially on the later runs of this track. So I'm sure they are communicating in there. Lynott, I doubt that 988 very easy to drive right now, as he's about to be 30 laps into that set of tires right now. That's about to pick it off. And there we go, the 77 in the pits right now. So I think we're going to start getting a few pit stops here, Dalton. That was, this would be consistent with Lynott. As Jake Shea.
Yeah, this will.
Oh, I apologize. Shea's actually been there for 9 minutes. He's 15 laps down, so Shea probably having an incident there at some point in this race. And they can happen so quietly here at Miami. It's so easy to slap that wall and have it take you out of the race, and no one even realize it. Oh, we got a replay for us. First replay of the day, and apparently it's Gerald Rose. How exciting is this, Dalton? Let's take a look at what happened. Uh-oh. Why is he in the pits? What's going on? Gerald Rose with another new... Wait, that's not the... Oh. He definitely thought that was pit road. I think he wanted to do some road course racing. Gerald Rose definitely wanted to do some road course racing there, Dalton.
Yeah, that was awesome. I definitely saw that. I definitely have the link to the broadcast up right now. So I definitely saw that. Whatever just happened, it was crazy.
Oh, it was epic. It was Jerry Rose trying to do some road course racing out of the pits. It was great. Yeah, maybe one. People think his wheel's broken for sure. Awesome for Gerald Rose right there. Oh, man. But in all seriousness, the rookie doing a great job this year. As there goes Jared Kelly, making a move on the inside of Kyle Lynott. That's going to be for second place. Jared Kelly takes second place from Kyle Lynott right on lap 62, like we anticipated. And look who is behind him. You got Lynott, and you got Vulpes and Steyrs, like 2 hungry sharks right behind that 988. And look how close Steyrs is, Dalton. Oh, man.
Yeah, just as we were saying that gap wasn't closing very quick. Yeah, these guys are to them already. And you know, it's got to be tempting to say, you know what, why not undercut it again? Why not just? Because I don't think this is.
There goes Brenner.
Yeah, I think running long on this run or the next one, I mean it's going to be hard to catch David Medina, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I think your best shot is just to keep running this undercut, and if it costs you, if it costs you at the end and we don't get a caution, so be it. But if he keeps running this undercut and we do get a timely caution, that's going to put
He's
him
set.
in a
Yeah.
very good position, uh, regardless of his fuel situation.
I was thinking the same exact thing. I think he's getting to the point now. So Kyle not just getting past my Jose Medina, now Malarkey, now down to eighth place is Lanat. He's at the point now. It's already happened, Dalton. It happened in the span of legitimately 2 laps. Where if he isn't careful here, he's gonna undo everything he just did. All that success he just had in the undercut and all that track position he got is essentially gone. The time to pit, I think, was around lap 62, 61. Lanot, definitely, though, maybe the car does feel better for him right now. And even though he is losing those track positions, he is comfortable enough to not damage it and try to keep it out of those extra laps to where he's not going to have to bring it down again. But I agree, Dalton. You're trying to win this race. You're trying to win this championship. I don't care about second place. I probably would be running that undercut right now too, and just praying for that caution, right? Because if you get that, you are all set. You're gonna have a chance to win this race, and it's gonna reset everything to where the ground is completely even. But we're not wanting to do that right now. He's in eighth place. With the championship contenders all in front of him. Volpus and Brenner have not seemed to have been able to get away from each other all day today. Those two championship contenders have been together. I'm sure wishing that Dave Medina didn't exist. As God, that's a camera angle. That's I know that one's a funny one. As a but yeah, Brenner and Volpus, man, that would be an unbelievable race for a championship if Dave Medina didn't exist.
It, you know, in the word of the great Jr. Jim Ross, if wishes were fishes, the world would be an ocean by now.
Oh God, it's a good JRism. But there we go. Brenner 8 seconds now behind Volpus. It's 8 seconds for the whole field, Dalton. Do you see those deltas?
Yeah, you know what? It's reminiscent of the last couple F1 seasons with Max Verstappen. How people were kind of putting together like, man, if there was no Max Verstappen, like this this would be insane. This would be a
This
crazy
would be
battle.
oh yeah, I mean like the past like 3 F1 seasons would be incredible if Max Verstappen didn't exist. Great championship battles. But that's kind of what we got here. Dave Medina is just he's putting on a clinic, and a lot of people anticipated this. I was looking at his speed ratings in the past at this particular track, Dalton. He knows his way around Homestead-Miami Speedway. And one thing about this track that I really enjoyed too is the cream does typically rise to the top here at Homestead. This is why this track is held such a high regard by so many real life drivers, and why I think a lot of people believe this is where the NASCAR Cup Series will be revisiting for their championship race instead of Phoenix in the coming years, and I'm of belief of that as well. But this track really, really shows off driver talent. I think better than any D-shaped oval does.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. Going back to Max Verstappen here for a second. Dave Medina isn't out there in the best constructed car in the field. Everybody's driving the same race car. He's just he's putting a whooping on the field in the same race car that everyone else is driving.
Yeah.
He's just got this place figured out.
I don't think they want to be reminded of that right now, Dalton. But you are right. That part must hurt. That has gotta hurt. Because at least if you're an F1, yeah, you can just say, well, I don't have that Red Bull car, and I'm not Max Verstappen. But these cars are, yeah, they're equal. They're spec, and this is a fixed setup here in the Bonfire Race League. So there's no difference between very minuscule things, but it certainly isn't power, is it? And doesn't matter. And I think we're at that point now in the run, Dalton, where we're about to. Oh, Lanot, here we go. So that was a 41 lap run that time. I believe Lanot ran 30 laps the first time, so that was 41 that time. Much longer, not too much damage in terms of track position towards the end there. Overall, I think that what that ended up being for the 98 was an experiment. But he is still here on the earlier side of this pit cycle. I don't think we're going to see Medina down the pits for at least another 10 laps, Dalton. So that's going to be an undercut for Lanot nonetheless. But I think we're at that part of the run where Medina really starts to pull away from these guys. And I know 8 seconds is already a lot, but I'm talking about this is where it went from 5 to 11 in a span of 6 laps last run. So I'm keeping my eye on those deltas right now because I think this is where we're about to see Medina peace out on these guys.
It's possible, but yeah, talking about that, I don't think he's really added to this delta in a while. Everybody's kind of kept the same distance from him. So I think when we looked at the start of this fuel run, they were back about 8 seconds, and you look at it now, that it's still right around 8 seconds. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see if now's the time where that tire saving comes into play.
Honestly, pretty impressive that they're putting down such fast laps with how intense this battling is too, right? Look at this cluster we got here. We got Jared Kelly, Brenner, Stiers, Jose Medina, Malarkey's back there, Sarah peeking his nose in, Joe Volpis. I mean, there's a lot of fast cars, and there's Edward Peltz on the bottom right there. I believe Edward Peltz going a lap down. But man, these guys are going for it, and it's not slowing them down. Oh my gosh, loose moment there for Brenner.
Big.
That was big, Dalton.
What a save on that one.
Man, what a horrible way that would have been for David Brenner to lose his championship hopes. That would have been heartbroken for him. You know those tires are heated up right now. That woke me up a little bit. Wow, that was a big moment for the 22 race car.
As you see, Stiers got loose on the top side in turn. Wasn't able to capitalize on that. Brenner keeps his position there in third.
Yeah, Brenner did a great job gathering it back up and really not losing too much momentum. And now you know those tires aren't happy with him. He's still trying to gather it back. We see Volpis do his best Ross Chastain impression there on the top of the wall. Really grab that thing around. And you're going to see more of that as these tires go on. You just can't check up if you're going to hit that wall sometimes. You got to just deal with the repercussions, right? And stick with it. As you see, Volpis, that '07 car is getting very tight in corner exit. And look again at that. That was Brenner again getting loose. I'm sorry, that wasn't Brenner. That was Medina that time getting loose on corner exit. Medina getting very loose. Steyer is able to take advantage of that. Go to the bottom of him. Try to complete the slide job here. I don't think he's going to be able to. And here we go to corner exit. Jose Medina going to have a head of steam on the outside. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I'm seeing both of these guys in this battle. They'll make that pass, but then they're wiggling out there on exit. The tail end of that car is just not staying put. Oh, caution's out.
Caution is out for the first time today, lap 76, pretty much right at the halfway point, lap 130, or this is a 130 lap race, so lap, I think 80, I don't know, I'm not going to do it, Dalton. I'm not doing it, I'm not embarrassing myself. Here is a look at the caution. Oh, it's Joe Volpis, Dalton, no! It's Joe Volpis and Justin Malarkey. Volpis loose on exit, it looks like. I, that's not loose on exit, I don't know what this is. Let's take a look at this again. So this is coming out of turn 4, Dalton. Looks like Volpa's running the wall, Malarkey running just below him. That's so common here at Homestead, trying to find clean air wherever you can, right? And so many lines available to you. Oh, that's Volpis coming down and loose. Volpis is loose and coming down. He's gathering up a little bit. The car's going in a straight line. Oh, and that's going to be... No, I mean, Malarkey... Volpis was loose. I mean, and watching this in slow motion, right? It's a lot easier said than done in slow motion. Let's see if Volpis hits anything too. But yeah, here we go again. As Volpis is going to come down, and then that just unfortunate situation there. Oh, big hit for the 73 on
Yeah.
Malarkey. Enormous hit for the 73. But Volpis is good. Oh God. Volpis is good so far. Yeah, it looks like everyone gets around the '07 of Volpis, one of our championship contenders. But that's going to be it for the 73 of Malarkey, I think, for the season. I think Malarkey will have too much damage to continue. That was an enormous hit. If he doesn't, then I'd be amazed. But that is a big moment in our race right there. As you see the 73 of Malarkey under the pits getting some damage repair. That's a 31 of Kevin Kyle in the VRN. Forward in front of him, and now pulling out of the pits is Medina. It's gonna be close between him and Kelly, but Medina is gonna get Kelly, and honestly surprised it was even that close with the gap that Medina had. But Medina gonna hold on to the stranglehold that he has on this race. And let's talk about this restart now, Dalton. If you're Brenner, if you're Volpis not losing too much track position there, only 7th place, and Lanot, he's on the lead lap. I wonder if that was if that was a drive around for Lanot there.
That I talked about a caution coming out at the right time for Lanot. You know that they could win him this championship. That caution could not have come out at a worse time.
That was the wrong time. That was the wrong time for a caution.
Yeah, that was the exact wrong time in that pit cycle for that to come out for him. So he's gonna have some work to do here now.
Death, taxes, and cautions coming out at the wrong time in BRL and MRL. What else is new, Dalton?
Oh yeah, this is a fuel mileage race now.
Wow, Buddy Solly with a great shout. This is a fuel mileage race now. For as long as we've seen today, and I think, yeah, it's what, about probably 46, 47 laps to a gas tank. That's not how many are left, Dalton. There's 50 to go here, and I think we're about to go green with 50. Yep, this is one to go until we're green. If we stay green for the rest of this race, these guys do not have enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. But you can't pit, right? If you can help it, you can't pit. So we might see a championship decided by fuel, which honestly may be the only way to beat David Medina.
You know what? I'm calling it right now. I don't think you can save enough gas to. f- I don't think you can save 5 laps of gas around here and be quick enough to beat somebody who decides to push the whole way and
Mhm.
come in for that splash and go. I just, but we'll see how this works out here. So we're about to go green.
If there's a way to do it, I don't know how to do it, Dalton. I'm not good enough. Oh, wow. Great start by Medina. Taking off in front of Brenner and Kelly. Wow. That was an amazing launch, and that's what Medina needs. You know he just wants to piece out in this field as quick as he can. Wow. Big loose moment there in front of there. I think that was Sarah on the outside. Got very loose. Did a good job gathering it back up. And there is, with the best running position he's ever had today to start a run, is Jose Medina. 4th place now in this run. We've seen how fast that 54 car is on the long run. So I'll be keeping my eye on him. But now, in terms of our championship, David Brenner, the first car up to challenge David Medina, as he is in 3rd place now. And man, I think just having a David is extremely important in this league, or having David as your first name.
I think so. As we, yes, I'm looking back at looking back at David Brenner right now. Oh,
Are they really?
wow.
Jeez. These laps, yeah, these laps, Buddy Sully bringing it to our attention. These laps are criminally slow right now. We're talking like earlier in the run. I was talking about, I think it was like 30 laps into a run, Dalton. These guys were putting down 33s. Medina was putting down a 33 second lap. Here we go, crossing the line
There
right
we go.
now. There
No,
they are.
You know what? It's because it was the restart lap. That's what.
Yep, there we go. We don't know racing. But because now they're putting down disgustingly fast laps. Now it's quite the opposite. I'm looking at these lap times, Dalton, and there's no way in hell they can save with these.
Oh, Brenner grabbed the wall there for a second.
Yeah, that was a pretty healthy hit by Brenner. You saw it there on the exit of 2, grazing the wall and a big cloud of smoke going up. But Brenner has done a good job every time he's had those mistakes. He's been able to gather it up. And I think Lanot may have been the wave around Dalton because I don't think he has fresh tires.
We have a battle for the lead right now as Jared Kelly's out there fighting.
Jared Kelly, the showboat, doing exactly that, trying to play as the spoiler right here, a non-playoff driver. Ford driver Jared Kelly knocked out in the round of 12, but not going to matter here as he's going to go around the outside of Dave Medina and take the lead of the race. And what that also does, Dalton, and as look who's that puts Medina in the clutches of David Brenner now 1 car away from a championship.
Yeah, it hasn't been this close all races. We're seeing already the dirty air kind of bringing Medina back to Brenner here, but Stiers is knocking on the door of Brenner as well. And you know what? If I'm Brenner here, they say you want to do something different from the guy that you're trying to beat, but I think it's in his best interest to just follow Medina, do exactly what he's doing, because what he's doing's been working. So I think you just gotta do what he's doing until it's time to try to do it better than him.
I agree. I completely agree. You keep it simple. You have that 9 car in front of you. You can see him out of your windshield for pretty much the first time today. Keep it simple, but speaking of Dalton, look at the top right there. There goes Joe Volpis. He was in that last incident. We saw him go all the way back to, I believe, 8th place, already back up to 5th, and he has a huge run at the top there. Not able to do anything with it there, but here he goes through 3 and 4. Going to use the top again and try to get that run on David Brenner, and it looks like he's going to. He may have something for Stiers when he comes out of this corner. He has such a head of steam. Joe Volpis has found something here in that 07 car.
It's
God!
Contact.
That was way too close. As Brenner is going to end up on the door for him. Oh, that was scary.
If I know if I know that Volpis did not mean to do that, he is apologizing in the voice chat right now.
Volpis is one of the most clean drivers that we've shared the track with. Every time I've wrecked, or every time me and Volpis have wrecked, it's been my fault. And I mean that with everything. With every fiber of my being, I've wrecked that guy more times than I'm proud of. But it's really, as Volpis is such a clean driver, that was definitely, you could see that on entry, could you not, Dalton? It was obvious what was about to happen there.
Yeah, it looked like he got in just a little too hard. couldn't check up in time. So now it looks like it's resolved at least, and Volpus looking to get up to Medina as now Kelly
I know.
checking out on this thing.
And at the risk of us analyzing lap times again, because we know how that goes, I'm looking at Medina's, and he's lost a little bit of speed, and I'm wondering. I don't think it's a field thing, but we've seen Medina so good on the long run in terms of tires. I wonder if, like, one thing I've said about Medina a lot this year, and I do think it's one of the things that makes him such a dangerous and incredible driver. You can't dictate this guy's pace. You cannot tell him how fast he's going. If Medina is focused on saving tires, he's saving tires. He doesn't care if you pass him. He's going to run his race. And that all the great race car drivers that I've shared the track with, Dalton, you can't dictate their pace. You can't make them do something they don't want to do.
Yeah, if anybody's gonna try right now, it's Joey Stires. Joey Stires been
He's
just
doing everything he
on
can.
his bumper.
Yeah, Joey Stires,
one lap,
pressure.
Just trying to kind of just do the same thing as him. Hopefully, be in the same spot with the tires that Medina's been.
Oh,
he's going for it here.
Here he goes. Yeah, he's going to look on the inside of Medina here. Man, this is reminiscent of Martinsville a little bit, Dalton. It's not Medina dominating the entire race, but then falling apart in the last about 25% as Medina is going to lose second place to Joey Stires. I mean, I am very inclined to believe that Medina is intentionally doing this. I mean, he's not losing spots intentionally, but he's not willing to run faster laps than he wants to, Dalton. I really think he'd be further up the field if he didn't want to be, if that makes sense. But he's got to cut it out now because look who's right behind him. This is Joe Volpus. Don't lose his position. You may never see it again.
Yeah, I think he's focused. I think he's just because it's really easy to lose focus when you have the championship knocking on your door behind you. But I think he's operating with confidence that that it's going to come back to him. That he's going to get these spots back if he just keeps doing what he's doing.
I agree. I do think that's his plan. And one thing that I think we just saw there as well is what is working for Volpus is that top lane. Very obvious that Joe Volpus has that top lane working better than anybody else in the field right now, which is curious too. Volpus is a good friend of mine. I know he doesn't like the top, so it's cool to see him push himself right now. And he's finding time doing it. You've seen on down the front and backstretch, Volpus getting great runs on that 9 of Medina. But one thing I think might be disadvantaging Medina a little bit too here, Dalton. He doesn't I mean, it's an advantage when you're controlling the race, when you're using it to save your tires. It's not one when you are now. Look at Stires, actually. Stires looking the inside of Jared Kelly. Stires going to look for the lead here. Here we go. Our two spoilers. Stires looking for the best of the rest championship, and he takes the lead from Jared Kelly. Joey Stires, he has come into just an exceptional form. The Joey Stires that I told you guys would be here. He is. He's going to come in on the outside here. He's going to try to, but not the momentum he needs. He's going to use the draft here and see if he's going to go to the bottom. He's not. He's going to try the top, but Stires drives it in deep, does a good job of keeping Kelly behind him. And Joey Stires, like I was saying, this was the Stires I was talking about in the beginning of the year that I knew existed. I knew how quick this 23 was. And it's cool to see at the end of the year here, him put together some great runs as Stires, taking the lead here at Homestead, and Medina holding off Volpus for the time being. Jared Kelly's still there in second place in the 55 car. And you see, look at that, run that wall, run that Larson line. Joe Volpus, and man, Dalton, I'm starting to get nervous. We got 35 to go, and the championship is right in front of two of these drivers. And I'm not even counting out Kyle or not yet. He could still get this thing done. He's in 11th place. He's on the lead lap. He's doing a good job saving his tires. He's only 5 seconds behind the leader right now, which means he's only 4 seconds behind his championship. This is not over for that 988 car, but that pack of 3 right now really can ask for a better situation to race for a championship here between Medina, Volpus, and Brenner.
Yeah, and we've seen. I mean, shoot, you and me and Gene have seen a championship before where it looked like the favorite had checked out and was gonna win it, and then chaos ensued, and the guys who were kind of would have finished third and fourth wound up racing for it at the ends. So yeah, this is still a lot of racing to go. Yeah, Buddy Solly was there for that.
Shocking, Buddy Solly remembers that day. I thought he'd forget it.
Yeah, just played a very small role in that.
Very small.
Yeah. So yeah, still anybody's game.
So it looks like we just did have an incident on track. No caution though, but here we go. It's going to be an instant replay. Taking a look at this, looks like it's the 69 of Benton, the 7 of Peltz. Benton, can't tell if he's coming out of the pits or in the pits. Looks like this is going to be an in the pit situation. And instead, we're going to do an in the grass situation and in the wall situation. That's a lot more fun, isn't it? Well, that's not what Kyle Larson did. It's a different version. Yep, you missed the barrels.
We love this situation, don't we, folks?
We love it. I mean, the goal is to miss the barrels, Dalton. So mission accomplished for that 69 race car. As it looks like Brenner and Volpus, yep, they are mixing it up. Look at these two, and this is again. I mean, Dalton, if I'm that 07, I'm that 22. In my mind, this is for the championship because I'm gonna get past that 9 car. I'm gonna figure out a way.
Yeah, they got to be careful to. They got to figure this thing out before Medina gets around those other two. If he's able to here. You don't know how long that's going to hold him up for, and you don't want a prolonged battle with your teammate to cost you your shot at it, as it looks like Brenner's got the speed here. He's starting to pull away, and so now he's going to take a crack at it.
Brenner is doing a good job here pulling away, but even better though is Medina. Medina has already started gapping. I think that 9 car is coming in the way that we speculated it would later in this run, Dalton. Like we said, you can't dictate Medina's pace because he knows this will come back around to him. He was over a second behind the leader a couple laps ago. Now it's down to 0.74. Jared Kelly right in front of him. Joey Steyer is not far in front of Kelly. Dalton, I have a bad feeling about this. And I'm not rooting against David Medina. He's a great guy and a great driver. I'm rooting for entertainment, and oh boy, not looking good right now.
I wonder now, as Volpus has fallen way off. I wonder if now he's deciding that he's gonna.
I'm saving, huh?
Saving strategy. Now that everything's kind of spread out a little more, and it's not going to cost him as much.
Don't you think? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong here. If you decide that, because I agree that would make sense with those lap times. Wouldn't you also move to the bottom? We're on board with him here.
That feels like what you would want to do.
Right, like shortcut the racetrack. That's 4th gear.
Oh, Steyer's gonna split this thing in half.
Oh no, yeah, Steyer's is committing to an alternate strategy. You're right, Dalton. Steyer's in the pits right now. Joey Steyer's pitting from the lead, I believe. And so Steyer's now is going to commit to this. Not as well. I love that, Dalton. I love that for the 988. Why the hell would you just sit back in 9th place and let this thing happen to you?
Yeah, if you're gonna go for it, you gotta commit to it now. It looks like Kevin Kyle also came in. Looks like Volpus off the pace, but not as much. Maybe not. He might go into a heavier fuel saving. Mode later on, but
Volpus is one that we've seen so many times be one that is eager to stretch it out, right? He loves that. That's his style. But yeah, I was surprised to see him shifting into 4th gear there up top. Volpus still trying to put in the best laps he can. And speaking of best laps he can, that's what it's all about here for that 988 as he grazes the wall there on cold tires. He needs to put down the best laps of his Miami life right now to have a chance at this.
So I'm looking out front. Medina is
he's going for it.
Kelly.
Did not take long.
This is going to be a nice little battle here. Kelly choosing the top.
You see Brenner followed Medina all the way to Kelly, Dalton. It's only 0.3 for Brenner as Jared Kelly doing the best he can, again, to continue to play spoiler, the showboat, trying his best to defend the 9 of Medina. Kelly going to try to put in the squeeze on exit. I don't think Medina's going to be able to clear him here on that little slide job. Maybe he will. Yes, he can. He gets around Jared Kelly. Good job by the 9 of Medina. Back to the lead goes David, and now David Brenner, he needs to make this quick against the 55 of Kelly. He needs to get by him as fast as he can and not let that 9 drive away from him.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, this is just, I don't know about you, but as someone who's raced with David Brenner before, I feel like I can never get a handle on what his true pace is, because I'll be racing him for 15th early on, and then later on he will have like legit like
for second place speed.
towards the end. So, I mean, maybe he's just figured this thing out, you know?
It's so true. It's so true. I can't tell you how many times that's happened with David Brenner where, yeah, you're like, you're back in the field, you're in the race, and you see David Brenner back there, and you're like, okay, cool. So I don't have to worry about Brenner today. Volpus in the pits, Dalton, here we go. So that's why we didn't see Joe Volpus pitting. And there's David Owens in the pits as well. He could still win this race. But Joe Volpus bringing it down the pits, that's a big development there, Dalton. So that means 2 of our championship 4 have committed to this 2-stop strategy, while the other 2, Medina and Brenner, so far right now, staying out, gonna try to make this thing last. And I'm really curious to see what they do. That'd be crazy for that to decide our championship, but it could certainly happen. And yeah, David Brenner, he's got that sneaky pace, Dalton. Because yeah, I can't tell you how many times where you're late in the race, you see Brenner again, you're like, okay, cool. I don't think Brenner's very fast today because last time I saw him, he was in 15th. Nope, he's fast. He's faster than you. Um, he figures out places in a hurry. He is a phenomenal driver, and like we said, pretty quiet this season to get himself into this championship 4. But who cares? Who cares how many races he won if you get to race for this championship and have a chance at it? Who cares how loud it was?
Exactly. You just got to beat 3 guys in one race, which, I mean, makes it sound easy, but you look at those those other 3 guys.
Yeah, right.
I mean, shoot, he's beating 2 of them right now, though. So just got to get that one more, who now looks like he's starting to check out on this field.
Doing a good job at Kelly not letting him by. He is getting in a pretty intense battle here with the 55 of Jared Kelly. I believe these 2 are ex-teammates, Dalton. I believe they used to race on a team together not too long ago. Not sure what their relationship is like anymore, but you can tell Jared Kelly really racing that 22 car hard, and I don't know how Brenner's going to have that patience because Medina is driving away a little bit, and I think what Medina's also doing is he's saving right now. I really don't think Medina is. Oh, as Kelly gets loose on exit. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw Brenner. I saw Brenner kind of get into that back bumper a little bit. Obviously, not trying to sink that battleship on the back of that thing, but just trying to say, hey man, give it to me.
Yep, I want it. As you see, Joey Steyer's behind them. He's trying to get his back. Joey Steyer's putting down great laps on those fresh tires, but Brenner, he's running out of patience. And oh, this is going to get sketchy right here, Dalton. Here we go. Medina, Kelly, and Steyer's together in the same Discord. That's an interesting group. That's like a bitter towards a sim racing group right there. Is those 3?
Oh man, Brenner got loose there. Oh no!
Oh no!
What a save though.
Steyer's and Brenner come together. Brenner saves it, and David Brenner, oh boy, deep breath in that 22 car, right?
I don't know that there was contact there. It didn't seem like there was. It seemed like, I think.
Is he going to bring it down? He's going to bring it down.
That's going to be his sign to be done with these tires.
That leaves only Dave Medina, Dalton. He is the only car in our championship 4 that's going to run this strategy. What do you do here if you're Medina? I think you pit.
I think now that the rest of the championship 4 are in, yeah, I think now's the time. Oh, Edward Peltz kind of, as you see him queue up on the radio, he just genuinely didn't see David Brenner coming there.
Oh no!
Didn't make contact. It didn't make contact.
Good.
Just kind of squeezed him to the outside. Didn't realize he was there. But
Medina's in the pits.
Was locked safely.
Medina's in the pits, buddy. There he is. Okay, so I agree with this, and this is just like you said, Dalton. Here, you have the lead, you have the drive position. I think he's going to come out behind Volpus and Lanot, but he'll have fresher tires and he'll have about 18 laps to do it. This is about as good as we can ask for. I don't know what's going to happen here, Dalton. I'm kind of shaking right now. I'm kind of freaking out.
Oh yes, you see, you can kind of indicate with where Brenner came out behind these guys.
Exactly.
Where Medina
he's going to be behind him. He's going to be behind him. It was only about a second to Brenner. He's going to be behind Volpus and Lanot when he gets out of here. 4 tires. Here he comes. No mistakes here for Medina. That's not the road course. Don't do a Gerald Rose. As there are the cars around, this is going to be the biggest moment of the entire season right here, Dalton. How close are they going to be here?
Looks like he is going to come out behind Volpus for sure.
There he is. There's Volpus. There's the lead.
I don't know if Lanot's going to be able to get it. Lanot's probably going to pressure him if he can get.
It's going to be right there.
I don't know if he's going to be able to get to him.
I know, and he's going to have much older tires. So hypothetically, Medina should be able to just drive away here. Yep, that was a good exit by Medina. I don't think Lynot's going to have much for him here, and that's a big gap to Vulpes. Vulpes has to drive the 17 best laps of his life right now, Dalton, and he needs to be more than perfect.
Yeah, what lap did he come in?
Yeah, let's take a look at that. 104. So we have a 7-lap delta there between Vulpes and Medina.
Joe Vulpes just put up his best lap of the race. He put up a 32.8 there.
That's a
his last
banger
lap.
of a lap. That's a very fast lap. We don't have any comparable data right now. There we go. 33-1. Yeah, I mean, if he does that, Dalton, he'll be a BRL champion if he does that 16 more times.
Let me just see him. Sorry, I'm trying to take a look at what Medina's best lap time was.
I know. I feel like a
It was
stockbroker right now. I'm going through some piece of data. Yep. Medina has not, as this track has, or as the sun has gone down, Dalton, and this is a transition race. I should have mentioned that. We started racing with the sun up, and now it's nighttime. That 9 car has not taken kindly to the nighttime like it did the daytime. That car was very dialed up during the day, but kind of struggling since the sun's gone down.
Yeah, Joe Vulpes.
Okay. Continue, Dalton.
I was about to say Joe Vulpes' last 3 laps were faster than Dave Medina's fastest lap of the race, but until he put up that 32.9 there.
I know Medina listens to the broadcast. That's literally probably what we probably just did not help Joe Vulpes very much there.
Oh man. Well, yeah, we're gonna have to see.
Let's shut up.
This is gonna be interesting because he is gonna have to like really actually push here because he's only got 15 laps to get there, and Joe Vulpes is gonna be pushing the heck out of this thing right now to put as much of a gap as possible between them.
And his best friend right now, Joe Vulpes' best friend, is the other Medina, is it not? He has Jose Medina in between him and Dave Medina. There's your shot right there. That is your championship battle. That black and red car, Dave Medina, dominant all season, dominant all day today, looking to take home a championship. But Joe Vulpes, I think he's a 2-time runner-up in this BRL Cup Series, looking for his first championship in this league, and he is doing everything right so far. And man, what a story would it be? Here goes Medina on Medina. Dave Medina looked at the inside of Jose Medina. Jose Medina, being the gentleman, wanting much to do with this, it being the championship race, going to give it to Dave Medina. But wow, that's a good exit or a good corner from Jose Medina, not able to pull in even. And now there is nothing between Dave Medina and a championship in the form of Joe Vulpes. Is about a half-second delta, and we have 13 laps to go. And I'd be remiss not to mention neither of these guys will lead in the race.
Oh,
he did.
Medina in the wall.
But a huge run nonetheless. Here goes Medina to the inside. This will be for second place, but this will be for first place in the championship standings. Vulpes going to try to wrap the top. Vulpes crazy loose again. That thing is absolutely yacht out, but he's doing everything he can to keep it underneath him. Not able to get the run out of the corner that he needed. Medina on the inside now. He's probably going to dive it in deep here, try to complete the pass and drive away. Vulpes is doing everything he can to stay to the outside of that 9 car, but it just is not enough right now as Medina's going to sail on by. And oh wow, Vulpes with it looks like a pretty solid hit to the wall as well on exit there. But Dave Medina has nothing else to worry about. That 23 car can have the trophy for the win as far as he's concerned. He is 12 laps away from championship.
You know what? I think back to that set of laps where it seemed like Vulpes kind of fell off on that green flag run there to start this stint, and I am wondering if that was just kind of seeing how much fuel mileage he could get out of it, and ultimately kind of bailing out of it as far as trying to make it to the end, which now in turn seems like it might be costing him if that is the case.
Look at him trying it again. Vulpes trying everything he can to get a run out of 3 and 4, but you're right. I think that may have been part of it as well. I think he did everything he could to plan for this and know what to expect out of that race car, and give himself the best fighting chance he could against that against that 9 race car. But super loose there through the middle of the corner. Vulpes is really I've never seen. He's driving so unbelievably hard, giving it everything he can. You can't say he didn't try. And there is Brenner still a couple cars behind. It's about That's only about 2 seconds. So Brenner, if he could figure something out, might have a shot for Medina. But it's only 9 to go here. Medina in second place of the race, first place of the championship. 5.5 second lead for Joey Stiers, doing a great job. And there's Kyle Lynott looking at the inside of Kevin Kyle. That's for seventh place. Kyle Lynott 10 seconds behind the leader, 5 seconds behind Medina. Lynott not quite having the day that he wanted today. Uh, Certainly not a bad one, but the stakes, or not, the standard, I should say, was just so high today.
Let me tell you something, Zach. Did you forget about Joey Stiers? Because I kind of forgot for a second.
I did for a minute.
He was like he is working this undercut so good that I almost just forgot because he's so far out there right now.
It's pretty incredible. Like, it's one of the best undercuts I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie.
And Medina, I don't think we have what 7-8 to go. I don't think he's gonna have time to get there.
No,
He
I
might
think
not.
Stiers is looking good. I don't think Medina should care. Even if you do get there, oh boy,
Yeah, like you said, did
Brenner
we say
gets
they're in the
Vulpes.
same Discord?
I believe they are, as Brenner's gonna complete the pass on Vulpes there. So yeah, so those are together. So I'd be surprised to see those two race each other too hard. But Brenner may have a shot this one, Dalton. It's about a second and a half, but now he is in front of Vulpes, as is Kelly. Vulpes gave it everything he had, and I think you're going to see him come down this field a little bit more than he probably normally would have because of how hard he had to drive that car. Can't blame him, but we'll see if that 22 can make anything happen here. It's going to be about 6 to go as we go across the line here. As here comes Kelly as well behind Brenner, but oh man, time is ticking away, Dalton. That's unfortunate. Yeah. So yeah, Vulpes is on older tires than the two of our championship contenders in front of him, but Brenner and Medina pretty even. It's going to be tough for Brenner. It's going to be a 5 to go this time. Brenner going to drive it as hard as he can, but not really taking any time off that advantage that Dave Medina has right now. Is wow, big loose moments behind them. You know what Dave Medina does not want is a caution right now with 5 laps to go. That would be heartbreaking. As oh man, Doll, we might get it. Look at how intense this is getting. Oh boy.
Yeah, definitely doesn't want to see that.
Yeah, that's yep. Joe Vulpes is exhausted, and
boy.
that's Puckett up
boy.
top. Oh no!
No, we're good.
Oh, Vulpes and Puckett so close there. Oh boy, that would have been bad. 4 to go for Dave Medina, for Joey Stiers. Joey Stiers trying to claim his second win of the season. Dave Medina trying to collect another BRL championship. Brenner doing everything he can. Still about a second gap as Medina just about 6 more sets of corners until he can call himself a BRL champion. And this certainly isn't helping Brenner's cause. Jared Kelly all over the back of the 22. And loose.
They don't call him the showboat for nothing.
No, they really don't. Putting on a show right there as Kelly's just sending it on the outside. Look at that. Oh my gosh.
Good lord.
There is no wall there, according to Jared Kelly. I agree. Yep, there is no wall there. He's just going to mollywop that thing every chance he gets. He's using it like it's NASCAR heat.
There won't be a wall there if he keeps knocking it down like that.
No, they really won't. He sends it in with so much speed. Very impressive as here we go. It's going to be 2 to go this time for Dave Medina and Joey Stiers. Joey Stiers still with the lead. 2.7 second advantage over Medina. That lead has shrunk down quite a bit. But again, same Discord. Teammates, I believe, working together. I would be surprised to see them race each other if Medina was to catch him, but you never know. But that 9 car, he is focused on what's important, and that's the big trophy right now. As this time around, it's going to be Joey Stiers getting ready to take the white flag. And great job from this 23 today, Dalton. We talked about that undercut, but man, that was unbelievably impressive.
Yeah, we saw him working his way through this field, and we didn't really think much about it because of just how seamlessly he seemed to do it. We were focused on the the championship guys, all those guys that he was working through. But yeah, he made it work, and it's gonna pay off here.
Yeah, Medina doing or I'm sorry, Cyrus doing a great job today. Consistent speed, start to finish, and he gets to play spoiler in the championship race here at Miami. Joey Stires in a 23 going to take home win number 2 on the last race of the season. He is our winner here at Homestead, but your champion of the Bonfire Race League, as if there was any doubt, he was dominant from the drop of the green flag in the first race of the season. It was David Medina, and he is the 2025 Bonfire Race League champion. What a great job from Medina today. Kept it so consistent, never really slipped up at any point today, Dalton. And really, you couldn't dictate his pace. There were so many moments where you saw his competitors try to get underneath his skin, try to make a run at a pace that was uncomfortable to him. He wouldn't allow it to happen. And that's what makes him such a great driver, such a championship driver. Congratulations to David Medina Sr.
Yep. This is I believe this is back-to-back championships for Medina, right? Is
I
that
believe
correct?
so.
Yeah, he won the last one. I think this is also, correct me if I'm wrong, number 4 overall in this Premier Series. Uh, yeah, just was there ever any doubt, right?
Not for me. Yeah, Medina just, oh boy, he is just an unbelievably polished driver, and we saw it all season. He was so incredibly hard to beat. Really, normally took a stroke of luck or a stroke of bad luck for him to get in front of that 9 car, and today there was no such thing for anyone besides his teammate. But let's also shout out the other championship 4 and the rest of the running order today. David Brenner bringing it home third. We called him a quiet championship 4 contender, but he certainly showed today why he belonged in the first place and why he deserved to have a chance at a championship.
Oh, absolutely. As you see you see him go nose to nose
They're
there.
kissing. Kith.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, yeah, David Brenner, we knew, we knew the pace was going to be there for sure, and got really close. Definitely, I definitely wouldn't be hanging my head if I was David Brenner. That was a world class drive to
Yeah, I wouldn't be
almost get
either.
it done there.
No shame in losing by a second to Dave Medina at Homestead-Miami in a championship race. I mean, that's a tall task. And again, yeah, Brenner's showing that he's going to be a contender for years to come and someone that we're going to have to keep our eye on. And definitely deserve to have that shot, that championship, as our running order is displayed on screen here. Second place again was Dave Medina. Third place, Brenner. Fourth place, Jared Kelly. Not getting to race in the round of 8 today, but doing a great job in the round of 8 and then a great job in the championship race today. We even saw him lead some laps today. Jose Medina, wow, Mr. Long Run. He was so good today. Brings it home with another top 5. Can't wait to see what that 54 car is able to do next season. I expect him to make a deep playoff run. Sixth place, our other championship contender, Joe Volpis. He was a blast to watch today. He put it all on the line. He came up just short there. I think this race was just about 8 laps too long for Joe Volpis, but he was a blast to watch today and did a great job giving himself a chance at that championship. Seventh place belonging to our admin, Kevin Kyle. I just want to shout out Kevin Kyle for everything he's given us this season. He's been an incredible admin besides his love for fog. He really, really knows how to make these races incredible, and he's really has surrounded it with an amazing roster of drivers. So we get some respectful and entertaining race every Sunday. And I think Kyle has done a great job getting this league where it needs to be. And I want to shout him out and thank him for the opportunity to be here all year with you guys. Michael Serra, the rookie, in 8th place. 9th place, Kyle Lynott. Shout out to him again, another one of our championship 4 drivers. Not as he predicted, just not quite. He was good, but just not quite as good as the top 3 guys that he needed to be a championship for. But a big accomplishment to have a chance at it in the first place, to be at this race. And also want to shout him out for bringing over the Drive to Survive sponsorship for this championship race. That was a huge honor to have that as our sponsor for this race, and really cool to have him before the race telling us a little bit about what that means to him. So thank you very much, Kyle Anott. 10th place belonging to Matt Schofield. 11th, Stephen Neal. 12th, Mark Dumont. 13th, Edward Peltz. 14th, Richard Leclerc. 15th, Dennis Puckett. 16th, Ricky Mandela Sr. I think that may be enough for him to be our best. Ooh, actually, I don't know, Dalton, because Joey Stires, he was one of the best of the rest guys, and he won today. But Ricky Mandela came in with the lead there. We'll have to see how that panned out. Gerald Rose in 17th. Steady improvement from that driver all year. Another good ride from him. Tony Fox in 18th. And then in 19th, I believe we got, let me see here, Chris Morrill. 20th, Michael Benton. 21st, David Owens. He didn't win, Dalton. 36 laps was too much to overcome. And Justin Malarkey behind Owens. And then Jake Ashea, 87 laps down with some early trouble. And that is going to do it for the last race of this season. How do you feel, Dalton? Oh, And we do have some interviews, yes. So we're going to run. Cool. We're going to run a quick commercial for our another amazing sponsor of this league, Animal House Customs. And then we'll be back with some interviews with our top 3 and Championship 4 because we're doing this thing live. So we get to talk to these boys. But we'll be right back.
Hey, Bonfire Premier Cup Series. This is your admin, Kevin Kyle, and I am proud to introduce to you your Season 12 primary sponsor, Animal House Customs. Get your favorite iRacing League logo or anything you can dream of on any hat or patch. Animal House Customs has a stitch for every itch. And in order to scratch that itch, visit animalhousecustoms.com or you can call Animal House Customs at 985-222-8065. Once again, that's 985-222-8065. Hey, Bonfire Premier Cup Series. This is your admin, Kevin Kyle, and I am proud to introduce to you your Season 12 primary sponsor, Animal House Customs. Get your favorite iRacing League logo or anything you can dream of on any hat or patch. Animal House Customs has a stitch for every itch. And in order to scratch that itch, visit animalhousecustoms.com or you can call Animal House Customs at 985-222-8065. Once again, that's 985-222-8065. Hey, Bonfire Premier.
All right, let's go ahead and bring in today's race winner. Let's see if we can get him in here right now. Give me just a sec, guys. Joey Stires, we got you, buddy?
Yeah, you got me.
All right, man. Congrats on the win today. What an awesome undercut. That was really cool. I'm not going to lie. You'll see when you watch the broadcast, you caught us by surprise. We lost track of you for a second, and all of a sudden, you had a 5-second lead, and nothing or no one could do anything about it. So tell me how you came up with that and how you were feeling towards the end of that race today.
Man, I honestly knew those guys had me on the long run. So I was able to drive up to the lead on the short run there, and I wasn't quite able to pull away from them. So it was about 30 to go, and I was like, I'm going to short pit. I'm just going to see what happens here. If a caution comes out, it is what it is. But I feel like I had enough long run speed to kind of be consistent with the times there to at least keep up with them and not lose too much time to David and whoever was going to probably do the long pit there. And it definitely paid off. And I was just those last probably 15 laps, I was just trying to stay so disciplined there on the bottom. I mean, you'd get around lap traffic and they'd want to ride the bottom. So anytime you kind of went to the high side, it would kind of screw up your tires just a little bit there. So I was just trying to stay my best as I could to be disciplined on the bottom and just kind of hold off the guys. I knew they were charging from behind, but I felt like if I could get me a little bit of distance here on those new tires, once I pitted, I'd kind of have it there in the end. And yeah, I was almost 2 seconds to the good there. So it really paid off.
Yeah, you had some space behind you at the end there. Incredible job. It was a lot of fun to watch, and we really saw. I mean, I've run a couple other leagues with you, and know all about how fast you are in that 23 car. So, but in BRL specifically, we really saw you turn it on towards the end of the season here, and really start to put together the finishes that we know that you're very capable of. So, what are your feelings going into next season here at BRL and expectations now that I think you really have it rolling?
Yeah, I was just talking to David Medina. He's really hoping I run full time next season, but I was just trying to tell him I'm having a little girl here in August, and
Oh,
my
congrats.
full time commitment. Yeah, thank you. My full time commitment here is probably going to be going down, but I love coming in racing with these guys in BRL. I mean, they've made me probably one of the biggest reasons I'm as successful as I am today in racing is because of BRL and these guys in the league. I mean, racing with David Medina week in and week out. I mean, he's just made me so much better as a driver, and I can't thank him enough. Love having him as a little teammate here in BRL as well. I mean, just appreciate the heck and congrats on the championship for him. I think that's number 4. So that's really awesome to see over there. But I'd love to come run full time again for sure. I mean, these guys are awesome, fun to be around, and it's a really great, successful league. And wouldn't have it any other way. I love going back and watching these broadcasts. You guys do an awesome job up there, and just it's really awesome to be a part of.
Thank you so much, man. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun covering you and the rest of this league this season. It really has been all my pleasure. It's been so much fun. And yeah, this league, the talent, especially up top, how top heavy and talented this league truly is unbelievable. And Medina, it is cool to always see people with that mentality. because Medina's such an amazing driver, but also at the same time makes you so much better. And I'm sure those wins feel so much sweeter knowing you had to do it against one of the best in the world. So congratulations on that. Another good win. And cool to see another one of those beautiful paint schemes in Victory Lane. Glad you were able to get it done one more time before the season was over. Hopefully, we get you as much as we can next year. But congratulations on the little girl, and yeah, very understandable. Definitely, we'll take it when we can get you. But thank you so much, man. Anyone else you want to give a shout out to before we let you out of here?
I got to give a shout out to the guys at Folcom for letting me in their Discord this season. I know I don't have my Rev Racing teammate Ryan Twynham anymore, so it's just kind of filling in wherever I can these days. And these guys let me in with open arms, and I just appreciate everybody over there at the Folcom who let me sit in during their Discord during the races and help me out with my input and everything. And everybody in the BRL League for putting it on, admins, everything over there. Just it's a tremendous job, and it's a thankless job, but I mean, I'm glad they do it and not me for sure. And everybody up in the BRL broadcast booth, thank you guys again for doing these races for us. I love going back and watching.
My pleasure, man. And yeah, thankless is so true about the admin team. Those guys, oh my gosh, they work so hard, and I wouldn't do it either. But thank God we have them. Congratulations again, Joey. Great job this season. Can't wait to see you again, man.
Thanks. Appreciate it, buddy.
All right, boys. So that only leaves. Oh, we got Lenot. Let's bring Lenot back in here. Lenot with such an interesting one today. It will be definitely fun to hear what that was like from his perspective. So many different strategies for him. Let's get him in here.
For a lot.
Kyle Lenot, we got you.
Yes, sir.
All right. And Dalton, we have you as well, right?
You got me as well.
All right. I've already bugged Kyle today. You asked him some questions.
Okay, yeah, I actually do kind of want to know, yeah, what was going on during that first pit cycle when you decided to kind of go for that undercut. You came in a lot earlier than I think anybody was expecting. Was that planned, or did you run into some trouble there?
No, so that was actually planned. You know, like I said earlier, I don't run well at this track. It has never been one that I've liked. I always race terrible here. So I thought if I can three stop this and keep the tires under me, I should still be able to come out with potentially the lead and then just have to hold off for a few laps at the end. That caution came out and kind of bit me in the rear end with my race strategy, but I thought maybe I'll get lucky and some circumstances, I guess is what I'll call them, kept me from catching up to the field on my wave around. And yeah, just didn't pan out for me.
Yeah, that caution seemed to come out at probably the worst time that it could have for you there on that strategy. Yeah, is that kind of what you were looking for? Was just a caution at the right time, you think?
No, I was actually hoping for a full green flag race. I had planned to pit somewhere around 32, 34, and then again at 70, and then I was going to pit again at 100. So I was going to have, 30, 30 at the end. And like I said, that caution coming out, it kind of ruined the tire strategy I had.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Oh gosh. Sorry. Uh, I'm kind of new to the interview thing. Do you have anything
It's
else?
tougher than you think, Dalton. It really is. Like you
It is.
think you have all these questions, then all of a sudden you're like, I forgot all the questions. But I mean, great job today, Kyle. That was a lot of fun to. I mean, you took the words out of my mouth, Dalton. Those are the things that I was curious about. But again, Kyle, thank you for bringing over the title sponsor for this championship race. Definitely got plenty of camera time for that car. You were putting on a really compelling story to follow the entire race, and that was a lot of fun. And man, I wasn't envious of you going against that 9 car at Medina. Gosh, that thing was a rocket. I would have had to do something alternative too, and it was fun to watch you try it. Great job today. And anyone you want to give a shout out to for last time this season?
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually just talking to Medina about this track, but congrats to him on the championship. Congrats to Joey on the race win. His strategy did pan out, which was really cool to see. And then shout out to all my GCR guys, Owens, Brenner, Volpus. It was cool to see the three of us in the championship, and it would have been cool to see Owens in there and just the four of us duking it out. But they've helped me a lot this season. Medina's helped me this season. I mean, anybody and everybody that's reached out and gave me some advice here and there. I appreciate everybody in this league and you guys doing the races for us, the broadcasting. It's awesome to watch. It's great to be a part of, and I'm definitely looking forward to next season.
Well, thank you so much, man. And pleasure is all ours. Thank you again for bringing over the sponsorship. Hopefully, that's something we can do every year. That was very cool and a very important cause to bring more attention to. So, thank you for everything, man. Congratulations on an amazing season. You're a lot of fun to watch. And yeah, I can't wait for next one. And we still have some other championships to win elsewhere. So, can't wait to watch you there too.
Definitely. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. And that's only going to leave us with one person, Dalton. And then I forgot until now that there was a 75% chance that Gulf Coast was going to win this championship, but they didn't. That's pretty crazy.
Well, I mean, but Dave Medina had a 133 and 2/3 chance of winning. So
Yeah, here comes the Steiner
Mhm.
math. You're right,
That's-
and that does Steiner math
Mhm.
does apply to this man right here, David Medina Senior. We got you. We got you there, buddy.
Yeah, you got me.
What's up, champ? Congratulations, man. That was a fun race to watch, and I think they did just about everything they could to beat you, but nothing was enough. Take me through your day today.
Yeah, it was for me. It was important. I wasn't too worried about qualifying. I was more worried about just keeping the tires underneath me, and I would have been happy starting, fifth or sixth, and just try to work my way through traffic as long as I kept the tires underneath me. So that was my focus. The whole race was just taking care of the tires, especially the rear tires, just not abusing them. I knew that, I kind of felt that if I could do that on the long runs, I might be able to gain some distance on them. Was a little bit of concern when that caution came out. It's kind of messed up my strategy. I felt like I could have made it on one more stop, but it all worked out. Got to thank everybody for the clean racing and letting us by when we did catch them. So yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that was really, I was saying that too. Very high integrity race. I mean, you wouldn't expect that much different from BRL and what we've seen all season. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I got to know what was going through your head. After that caution, you fall back into about third place, I believe it was. You have the championship contenders right behind you, and Brenner. And me and Dalton are in the booth. And the one thing I said is I don't think anyone can dictate Dave Medina's pace right now. I don't think you're going to make him go faster than he wants to. What was going through your head in the race car right there in that phase of the race?
Yeah, I have a routine before every race, and this one was the same routine. And I always remind myself prior to the race of who I'm racing. And so when Jared was out there and then Joey, I knew I wasn't racing them, right? I'm trying to stay focused on the big picture here, and I was with Joseph and David Brenner and Kyle Not, just keeping tabs of where they were at and not getting sucked up into trying to win the race and burning my stuff up. So that was my main focus. Even before the race, was just making that note and reminding myself of that during the race.
Yeah, and it showed, man. And right when you saw that 9 car come back around and that long run speed that we've seen all day start to really show itself, it felt like a Hope was feeling in the booth. I can only imagine what your competitors felt like. It's just, and that was the story of all season, man. Just a masterclass of a season. Congratulations on it. I believe this is your 4th championship here in the BRL. So huge accomplishment there. What are you thinking for next year? What do you got your sights set on for the next season here in BRL?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a shakeup going with the different points, so that's gonna be interesting to see how that shakes out. My philosophy on this thing is just be consistent, right? If I get wins and stuff, everybody wants to win. That's what we're here for. But I always focus on just trying to be consistent and be clean. Trying to get into the respect of the other drivers that I race around, and that's my approach to every season.
Well, it was a clean and respectful season this one, and that also goes a long way too to have them be, but also do it the right way. So congratulations again, David. Couldn't have gone to a faster, or this championship couldn't have gone to a faster driver, a more deserving driver here in this league. It's beautiful to see that happen, but also to see you guys put on such a good show, such a clean show, and really. This championship, genuinely, from my perspective, feels very meaningful, very important, and it's because you guys did such a good job on the track protecting the integrity of this league in this racing to where that means everything. So great job, man. It was a pleasure to watch you all year. I appreciate you so much for having us and everything Fulcrum Racing does for this league. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before you're out of here for the last time this year?
Yeah, there's just so many people to thank, but I'm going to start off with thanking the admin. Kevin Kyle has done a fantastic job, in this first season as admin. So, appreciate him. Appreciate all the drivers. That they're what makes this league, fun, and just enjoy, racing here every Sunday. It's really the only league I race in that in my pretty much entire sim racing career. So, really enjoy racing around these guys. And hats off to GCR. Those guys, did a fantastic job this season. Showed a lot of speed and consistent for the entire team. So outstanding run by them. And then shout out to all my teammates. Just a great group of guys. Some of them that we've been racing together since Fulcrum started. So learned a lot from those guys over the years, and greatly appreciate all the feedback they've ever given me over the seasons. And I can't go without thanking my wife, allowing me to spend the time that I do for practice and racing, and she also helped me pick out my rig and all my equipment and all that kind of stuff. So big shout out to her. And then lastly, well, not lastly, but I want to give a shout out to the fans that do tune into this broadcast, but also tune in to Fulcrum Racing channel, and support that channel and watch the videos and all the likes and subscribes there. So appreciate everybody out there for doing that. And then lastly, you guys up in the booth and all those that are operating the cameras and stuff, you guys do an extraordinary job. So thank you for joining us this year. Looking forward to seeing your next year's broadcast. But thank you everybody for tuning in and supporting this league.
Thank you so much, David. And yeah, we can't wait for another year. We will be back here with you next year, and wouldn't miss it for the world. Truly an honor, and congratulations on the championship, man. Enjoy it.
Yeah, let's go, boys.
Hell yeah. David Medina, champion in the BRL once again. And man, Dalton, while it felt, I think, a little bit up in the air a few points today, it never was really that much in question in terms of speed. That guy just the class of the field since the drop of the green flag at Charlotte to start the season. That wasn't Charlotte. Wherever we start the season. Vegas, I believe.
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Yeah. Whatever. I missed that race on. Vegas was my first one. But yeah, since I've seen that guy, he has been lights out.
Yeah, it's funny. We mentioned the kind of the drought he's been on as far as winning races.
Wins. Mm-hmm.
And that's going to continue. But he's still he's still walking out here the champion. So probably not too sad about it. And he'll get to work right away on breaking up that drought next season.
Geez, Don, I'll tell you, as someone who's come in second place more times than I can count this season, that's one second place I wouldn't mind.
Right? Yeah, that's as good a second place as you're going to get, I think.
It really is. Dave Medina, great job by him, but also shout out to the rest of our championship four. David Brenner did an awesome job today, showed why he belonged there, showed so much raw speed, so much improvement throughout the race too, which is always fun to see. Joe Volpus putting it all on the line at the end there and really putting on a show, and that was super, super fun to watch. And then Kyle Lynott, understandably, a track that he said he didn't love, he didn't have a ton of confidence at, tried something different, gave himself a chance at the race, and I think did a good job, a really good job with what the cards were dealt. Sometimes it just isn't a track you love, and you just have to make with what you have. And I think Lynott did a great job of that. And again, I think it's far more about the talent of the other guys he was racing for a championship than it is about Kyle Lynott coming short doing anything today.
Yeah, it really was David Medina's race to lose, right? I mean, there was just, and you saw them kind of figure out, hey, you know what? Maybe another 200 laps. They might have figured something out to get there.
Or the lead would just gotten worse. But yeah, it felt impossible today with Medina, and that's what we expected. But that's what happens at a higher integrity league and a high integrity race with a track like that really has the cream rise to the top, and the top guys become very, very hard to beat. Why this is such a popular track selection as a championship race. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this season, Dalton. No live stream today from Bristol. I'm over here in Long Beach, actually, and I'm going to the Long Beach Grand Prix after this. That's why I woke up at 6 a.m., was to make sure I can still be here with you guys, but also go watch some IndyCar racing. So that's what I'll be doing. And I think I forget what the rest of what are you doing, buddy? That you're too busy. Do you have work? Sleep for work tonight. That's fair. And then Dalton, I think, has work as well. So we will not be live streaming today, but it will still be on the Vortex Racing Network next week for our live stream. But we'll also be there next year, Dalton. Will be this entire league. This was the last race of the Bonfire Race League on the Bonfire Racing Network. We first of all want to thank this network for having us all season. It truly means a lot. I want to thank Kevin Kyle for bringing me over to this league and asking me to be a part of the commentary booth here. It's really been a lot of fun. And you know me well outside of racing. You know how close to impossible it is to get me out of bed before 9 a.m. On a weekend. So that should go to show how much I love you guys and Kevin Kyle in this league and how much I need to be here. Um, and I really wouldn't trade it for the world. And I can't wait for another season here. And I'm excited to be doing it on Vortex Racing Network. And none of this would be possible without VRN and Kevin Kyle and all the people, Jared Kelly, all the people involved with this league who make this entire thing run and help us grow something special. We truly think that moving this league over to VRN is going to help make BRL an even bigger league. It's going to be a couple other leagues on that network with us right away when we go green mid-May to start the next season. And I just cannot wait to be doing it on a network that I think is going to elevate this league and bring even more faces to these drivers who deserve to have that. And yeah, anything else you want to add to that, Dalton, or any final thoughts before we sign off? And yeah, sign off this channel also. Weird feeling. Didn't really hit me till now.
Yeah, it's man, yeah, it's it's a weird one, but yeah, I'm fully excited for the next season, the next run of this. I kind of spent the opening part of the season, or I guess the closing part of the season with you guys, and did a lot of kind of the homework, trying to figure out who's who, what who's the guys to kind of pay attention to. I mean, I pay attention to everybody, but and kind of having the narratives going forward. I'm going to be very very invested, very interested to see how things go next season.
Yeah, I really can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think as of right now, the plan is for them to drop the green flag on May 18th, I think will be the beginning of this season. And if that is the beginning, and if nothing changes until between now and then, which would give these guys about a month off, I will actually be missing your guys' starting of the race. That will be that I'm getting married that day. That'll be my wedding day. So I don't think my new wife would be very happy with that. So I will be heading over the booth to start the season to Mean Gene Money. He will be starting up the season for BRL with you guys. And I've given you guys a special booth. I believe he's going to have Buddy Sully with him, maybe Kevin Kyle. Not totally sure what Mean Gene's plan is, but I do know that if the opening date stays the same, it will be Mean Gene Money starting your guys' season off with you. And then you'll have me and Dalton to fill out the rest of the season for you until your guys' championship race, because then I leave for my honeymoon, believe it or not. This season is bookended for around my wedding. So me and Gene Money's plan will be to be there for your guys' championship race as well. So we're really excited to hit you guys up with some special experiences, a few special booths next year, and really make the I guess the inaugural and the last race feel special and important. Give this league the awesome stuff that it deserves. And yeah, I couldn't be more excited, Dalton. It's been an amazing time here on. Genuinely cannot thank BRL for having or BRN, sorry, for having us on this network and letting us broadcast these races, and then giving us or being okay with coming over to VRN and the league and the channel over there. It's going to be a great time. I couldn't be more excited, and it sounds like we're going to have a lot of the same drivers in terms of the roster, and we've seen so much improvement through these guys throughout this season that I really can't wait to see what they're capable of next year. So many guys night and day from how they started, Dalton.
Yeah, absolutely. We had some rookies this year that were very impressive, and I think I'm excited to see what if we get like a new batch of rookies. We'll see how that goes. It's going to be. I'm sorry, I'm so tired right now.
It is still 8:50 in the morning. Like I am usually not even awake at this point. I agree, Tom. Oh, cool. So for those of you who are not on the West Coast and not going immediately back to sleep, go to go to BRL, or actually, is he on the VRN Twitch or the BRL Twitch? He's not going to be on. Okay, so Kevin Kyle's on the VRN, the Vortex Racing Network Twitch channel right now. He's doing a Championship 4 interview, so he's going to be with all Championship 4 David Brenner, Joseph Volpis, Kyle Lanat, and our champion Dave Medina. So really cool opportunity to hear from all four of those guys, have a conversation with them over on Twitch. Check it out, Vortex Racing Network. Make sure you are following them on Twitch and make sure you're subbed up to VRN. So it's youtube.com/@Vortex Racing Network, because that will be the home of the BRL next season. If you want to watch these races every Sunday morning, make sure you are subscribed up to VRN, because that's where it's going to be happening. We cannot wait to hang out with you guys there. But when it comes to this season, one last time, I want to send a big shout out and a thank you to Kevin Kyle, Jared Kelly, Dave Medina, all the people who helped make this league possible. I want to send a big shout out to our sponsors of Animal House Customs, the Race for Suicide Prevention 195 that we did today. A really cool sponsor and a really important one that we had today. So shout out to those two sponsors. We also had Fulcrum Racing sponsor a couple races today, or I'm sorry, this season. So big thank you to them. I want to thank the production truck boys, everyone that's helped make this possible. So Buddy Sully, who we had in the production booth today, definitely not an easy one for us here. We had to jump through a lot of hoops to make this one work, and Buddy, as always, was up for the occasion and dealt with the punches, and we made it out okay. And I believe gave you guys a product that we could be very proud of, and hope that we gave you guys a championship race that you deserve. Also want to thank Mean Gene Money for having me in the booth to start this season. You guys heard Mean Gene quite a few times this season with me, and he'll be in and out of the booth for this league next season. It's such a pleasure to work with him. I genuinely cannot thank him enough for putting so much belief in me and giving me the opportunity that he did to run this booth for this league. He is an incredible partner, and missed him today, but it was fun to see him out there. And I'll be in the booth with him tomorrow over in the MRL in their playoffs. But I want to send a big shout out to him. Dalton, thank you for taking on the challenge and joining us this season in the booth. It was so much fun having you, watching you grow in the booth, and I cannot wait to have you back next year. And thanks for taking that on, man. That was a lot of fun having you, and really good addition to our team. I'm sure I'm forgetting a million people that mean the world to me that's made this league possible. But just know every driver in this league, I admire all of you. And it's really cool to see how big these fields were all year and how much of a show we were able to put on week in and week out. And it's all thanks to the drivers. There's no broadcast without the drivers. So thank you guys all very much. This was an unbelievable season, start to finish. And it was really capped off by high integrity, clean, great racing. And I don't think anything else could have summarized it better than the Race for Suicide Prevention 195 we got today at Homestead-Miami Speedway to cap off our season. So I am going to sign off for the last time right now here on BRL, or I'm sorry, on BRN, and we will see you guys on VRN next season for a fresh BRN season, and I could not be more excited. It'll be May 18th as of right now. Keep up to date with Discord, but thank you all season for an incredible season. Congratulations to Dave Medina on another championship, number 4 in this league. Can't think of a much more deserving driver, and thank you to every single driver and fan who tuned in and watched any of these broadcasts this year. It means the world to us. We will see you guys